evening, everybody. You're looking at the beginning of 3 with the Motor City Madmouth. How loud am I? I don't know. Depends how much I can have with the caffeine. But I know one thing. I have Molly Murphy in the house. We're talking horses, people. We're talking equine-assisted therapies. We're talking fundraising. What a beautiful thing. And my little co-host here who's going to be joining me on the Motor City Madmouth show in a couple weeks with Steve Ballesteri and I. You know, she might be auditioning for an opportunity to come on with us a couple times a month. You know, when she ain't doing these. I don't know. I got her pencil for hockey. I got her pencil for it. Molly, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back, Scott. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Molly. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody, if you don't know who Molly Murphy is, go out there, Molly, and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the executive director of Equine-Assisted Therapies of South Florida. We are a 44-year-old nonprofit organization right here in Coconut Creek, Florida. So if you're local to the Coconut Creek, Coral Springs area, definitely, as Scott said, come out for a tour. I'd love to have you. We are dedicated to providing equine-assisted services to children and adults with disabilities as well as veterans. So if you are a veteran or a military service member looking for mental health services, we can certainly help you. We do have a Veterans Program open house on April 8th at 9 a.m. So if you've always wanted to learn more about our program and you know of a veteran or you are a veteran, we'd love to see you on Wednesday, April 8th at 9 for our open house.
Well, guess what, Molly? You got a fundraising event on April the 12th, which at this particular point, and that is not an April Fool's joke, people, even though today is April Fool's. But there's a lot of riddles and tricks. One thing I can say about April Fool's is I don't believe anything here on that day of all day. But on our April 12th, that is not an April Fool's joke. That's called an event, and you're going to talk about it.
You don't have an April Fool's Day joke today, Scott?
Molly, if you really want to know the truth, one of the reasons I don't like to talk about it is when I was married one time, my divorce was final on April Fool's Day, and that actually happened.
Well, so thank you, Scott, for mentioning our upcoming fundraiser. It is the 9th annual Day at the Races event. It is at Gulfstream Park down in Hollandale Beach. It is at the track. Why is it at the track? Because we have 2 off-the-track thoroughbreds active in our program. One actually raced at Gulfstream Park. His race name was Mambo Dan. He is now referred to in our program as Goose. He won just over $300, so not a great racehorse, but a wonderful program horse, and we're so lucky to be able to partner with him to deliver our services. So we like to celebrate and recognize the post-track life that horses have the opportunity to have in therapeutic riding programs like Equine-Assisted Therapies of South Florida. And basically, we're raising money for our horses. There will be a silent auction. All guests do receive a drink ticket and a first-time betting voucher, and you get to sit right on the glass and experience the day at the track, which is really cool. We'll be in the Flamingo Room, which is on the 3rd floor of Gulfstream Park in the casino area. It is a room that is exclusive to an event venue like ours, or if you're an owner. So the only opportunity that you would have to go to the Flamingo Room is events like ours, and that's the 9th annual Day at the Races.
Well, I got to ask you a question about horses, okay? In the eyes of Rick Pitino, a New Yorker who's a coach for St. John's, Rick Pitino shows the New York accent as horses, okay, because he's a New Yorker. But have you ever been to a Florida Derby?
Oh, I've never been to the Florida Derby, but it was last weekend, and I know Gulfstream was hopping with track goers and people that like the races. And Scott, I'm sure you know this, but for listeners out there, the Florida Derby is a prep race for the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown races. So it's a big damn deal.
I've actually been to a couple. In fact, I remember years ago when I worked with the Hallandale Digest, I actually did an interview with then President Douglas Don. So if you ever go there and check out past presidents, yours truly, Molly, had a chance to interview Doug Don. You ever heard of a guy named Dave Joseph?
I would probably know him if I saw him.
Yeah, he's actually the PR guy. I haven't spoken to him in years, but one of these days, you and I we need to take a road trip down the Gulfstream, and I'll actually let them know that now you're part of the South Florida Tribune, and
Nice.
and you're one of my commentators. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my history with horse racing is what it is. I've never been to any of the Triple Crown. I enjoyed the Florida Derby. It was a pretty good race back then. And yes, it is a prep race for the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness Stakes, and the Belmont Stakes for sure.
Yes.
And it's one of the more credible racetracks out there for sure. And I think for you to have an event and to associate with Gulfstream is unbelievable.
They are wonderful partners, great planners for this event. They really help us execute something that's really beautiful and something that we want our guests to really enjoy. This is a ticketed event, so tickets are $125. That helps us execute the event and helps us, run something that people, again, are going to have fun at and enjoy. That's Sunday, April 12th from noon to 4. 9th annual day at the races, Sunday, April 12th, noon to 4.
So how long have you been planning this event with these people?
So we've been running the event at Gulfstream for 9 years. We first started the event because one of our board members is a thoroughbred owner and has a farm and is associated with Gulfstream and thought it would be a great idea to help bring them into the fold and know us and also help, get people exposed to, another side of racing, which is giving people the opportunity to see that there is life for these horses after they're done racing in programs like ours.
So why don't you give me an update a little bit about some of the things that are going on over at your particular place? I know we're promoting this event right now.
Yep.
So April the 12th, you get down to Gulfstream Park. This is a great event to support the Equine-Assisted Therapies of South Florida. It's a fundraiser. When you talk about a fundraiser, where's this money going?
Great question, Scott. So the money at this particular event is going to go towards our horse care. So we have 9 horses. For those of you out there that know of horse people, we are looking for 3 more horses to add to our herd. So you can give us a call at any time to start that conversation. My phone number is 954-974-2007. We're ready to receive horses as a donation, make a purchase, or perhaps discuss a lease arrangement if it's the right fit. All horses go through a 90-day trial period to make sure that that is doable for them. But like I said, the 9th annual day at the races raises money for their care. Our horses on average cost anywhere from $8,000 to $8,500 a year for general care. So that's seeing the dentist annually, that's getting their feet done, that's their hay, their feed. I said to somebody this morning, or a group this morning, that horses are like toddlers. They will get hurt. They can't tell you anything. They will get sick. They can't tell you anything. So, it's really exciting over here at the farm when stuff like that happens.
I like how you compare horses with toddlers. I've never heard that analogy before.
Yes.
So give me a little bit more. All right, so we're on to something here, Mal. Okay, horses and toddlers. How did you come up with such a connection like that? I can see ponies and toddlers, but horses. I mean, there's a little bit of a size difference here.
Yep. Well, a lot of people refer to ponies as like baby horses, and ponies are only ponies because of their size, their height.
Right.
So I always like to give that fun fact to new horsey people. So it's just like when you call your dog puppy, it's a fun terminology. It's like, oh, my puppy is so cute, even though he or she might be 5 or 8 years old, right? So a pony is any equine that is under a certain hand height. Typically, it's, I think, and now don't test me on this. This is a factoid that is on the tip of my tongue, in the back of my mind, and I'm probably getting it wrong. So anything under 14 hands would be considered a pony.
Okay.
And hands is 4 inches from the bottom of the front hoof to the very tip top of the start of the back for the withers. So that is the measurement.
You think I'm really going to test you on this? You're the authority on this. What do I usually do?
I know your listeners are from everywhere. So, I invite a listener out there to correct me, please.
I got to test you. I got news for you. I don't have to test you. You know your business and you're learning mine. And it's my job to teach you everything about it so we can turn you into not only an executive director, but a qualified commentator. And that's what my plan is with you, lady. You're getting off easy with these first two shows.
I
And when
know.
you come, and when you come on, sports rep on Thursday, talk hockey once in a while, or maybe soccer or whatever we come up with. We're just going to have fun. I mean, the thing that people have to learn to do, regardless of what the event is, Mom, is they have to have fun. You have to have fun. You have to have energy. And I'll tell you, and we want to thank New York MLB Talk. Sounds like a great charity. They're one of our partners and supporters as well. And that's the thing about this whole thing, Mal, is this. It's all about having fun, and it's about having energy. And let's take the caffeine out of the equation because I'll tell you one thing. I have plenty of it. It's a whole lot cheaper than gas prices at $4.29. You get
Yes,
a
it
two
is.
liter of Diet Mountain Dew or Diet Coke. But,
Yeah.
it's about fun and energy. So, and you're just one of those young ladies out there who when I decided to bring you on here, I knew I had a hidden gem here. I just had to get you out there in front of more people so that everybody could go out there and support what y'all do. And that's the thing. So, no, I'm not just saying what I say because I've already, seen you at the chamber, and now I'm seeing you in front of me. I mean, it is what it is, and you're doing something that people have to understand. Okay,
Yes.
it's quality. The thing that can't get lost in the translation of anything that you're doing is your horses out there designed to help disabled people, and that's the one thing that people have got to understand is you're helping disabled people out there, and it's no. I think it kind of reminds me of a service dog, right? A little bit. A
Yep,
service dog to
exactly.
me,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm as part of that 70-30 theory that you didn't mind mentioning over at the chamber, which I'm kind of picking proud of you for doing it. But yeah, but like I said before, Mal, it's like a service dog is what it is. You need these animals to be able to go out there and help, these individuals along. And I think what you're doing is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on the money, Scott. Our horses and our horse herd are exactly like service animals. That's what we refer to them as. So we're really conscientious about the work that they do and their workload and also their training. It's very consistent. Our volunteers, really put in a lot of training to be able to work with our horses. And because that consistency creates longevity. Our goal is to have horses here for a long time, to continue to serve our students for as long as they're involved in the program and as long as our horses are healthy enough to do that. That's our main goal. So all that comes down to the care that they receive, the training they receive, and of course the love from everybody that comes to the barn.
Well,
But
that's
that's why Day at the Races is so important, because we have to be able to fundraise for all of that, in order for them to be the best possible, service animals that ultimately deliver our mission.
well, you just hit the nail on the head. Care and training is what it's all about. You got to care for these animals so you get them to train them to get to do what you want them to do. And that's the one thing that tends to get lost in everything that we're talking about. So, again, so what I want you to do, though, Mal, is go into just a little bit more detail about that fundraising event. And then in about 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to let everybody know, Molly, how they can go ahead and get tickets and all that stuff.
Awesome. So Day at the Races, there is a silent auction. There will be racing throughout the day. So the benefit of coming at noon is you have, a minute to visit the buffet, fill your plate up with some delicious food courtesy of Gulfstream Park. And then the races start. We will have a named race. So a named race meaning a race named after equine-assisted therapies that individuals will have the chance to join a raffle for, to go down to the winner's circle, to stand in the winner's circle when the horse comes through, which is really cool. So we have photos from previous years where guests actually got to stand right on the rail and watch the horses run by. So definitely a once in a lifetime experience if you win the winner's circle raffle. We also have a Gallop to Give program where each of our 9 horses has a board essentially that kind of illustrates the cost of their care. So what it costs for a bale of hay for that horse, what it costs for a shoeing visit for that horse. And guests can put their bidder number next to that item and that horse and donate towards that effort or that item. And at the end of the event, we will tally up all of those donations. Hopefully, you'll walk away with a few fabulous silent auction items. One of those happens to be a 4-ticket package to the 2027 Florida Derby. So in order
Wow.
to win that, you'll need to be in the room. You'll need to be a ticket holder. Scott, I know you said you wanted more information about tickets, so I can just jump in.
Yeah,
But
go right ahead.
tickets can be purchased on our website. Our website is www.equine, that's EQUINE, A as in assisted, T as in therapies, S as in South, F as in Florida.org. If you go up to the events tab at the top and then click on 9th Annual Day at the Races, you can buy your tickets online, or even easier, you can give me a call tomorrow morning if you're really intrigued about the event. My number is 954-974-2007. I can help you. Anyone in the office would be happy to help you too. But again, tickets are $125. That goes to, this fabulous event and, once in a lifetime opportunity sometimes of visiting the Flamingo Room, which you really feel like you're a true Floridian when you step into that room. It's very Miami Vice, very traditional Florida. It's very exciting. So to be in there and watch the races at the same time is really cool.
Miami Vice, boy, does that bring. So one thing that just entered my mind is this: you're doing this one fundraiser with Gulfstream. Have you talked to Gulfstream at all about doing other events in addition to this one? Because let's face it, if there's ever a match between you and them, this is definitely it. Because I know Pompano Park is no longer in business, and a lot of the horse places are out. But Gulfstream, you couldn't really get involved with a better partner than them.
Oh, Gulfstream is really, really charitable. The Stronach Group themselves is very charitable. They help us throughout the year. So one of the things that they, also support is the Florida Track program, Florida Thoroughbred Rescue and Adoptive Care, which is where Goose came from. So those relationships are really key because that's, not only are we fundraising utilizing Gulfstream Park as a partner, but we're also connected with a variety of different organizations that help us, whether that's find horses or find people that know of other people with horses. That's really what it's all about. It's about the connections.
Great stuff. Well, unfortunately, there won't be a second sports exchange tonight because my partner Steve Ballesteri is having power problems. I'm going to try to go out there and see if he'll be able to do it tomorrow. But anyways, have you ever talked to the Hialeah track at all?
So we originally, when we very first started this event, we did the track down in Miami Gardens, Calder, which is also a fabulous track. So we are familiar with the Calder track and Gulfstream Park. When the Pomp was the harness track, we did go over to the Pomp quite often, and so the harness drivers and that group over there, fabulous people. Of course, racing and harness racing itself goes through that evolution. I believe, Scott, and you can correct me, I think the only harness track left in the U.S. is in New Jersey.
Really? Oh, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, horse racing outside of the Triple Crown doesn't. It seems to be a breed where gambling is taken over, and it's just the way it is. And I mean, I'm glad at least. In fact, some updated information. We're going to go ahead and do the other Motor City Mad Mouse show tomorrow. So it'll be 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope everybody can join us. Steve Ballesteri and I will be on. Molly, I hope you have a chance to go ahead and watch that as well. So you and I are doing the only Motor City Mad Mouse show. Will give us anything we need to talk about. So yeah, no, I think Calder Racetrack is pretty good. And yes, indeed, that harness racing it was unbelievable. And unfortunately, it's just a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so excited, Molly, and I can just see the way you lighten up the way that you do, that you're going to be an unbelievable individual on our network here in terms of being able to provide not only what you do to what you're going to do, but you're going to make it. You're going to be a natural. I mean, if Robert Redford's a natural, you're pretty darn close when I get finished.
Oh, wow. To be compared to Robert Redford is really something. Thank you, Scott.
Oh, come on. You're welcome, Molly. Just make sure you have enough water and diet drinks when I get there, or whatever day we're going to schedule next week. It's no big deal. It is what
Okay.
it is, Molly. I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, Robert Redford. Yeah, I have to make sure we put that down there, and because when I get done with you, you're going to have something in common with Barbara Streisand. A Star Is Born. I'll be darned. That's what little I know about this God ticket.
Well, I love talking about horses. I especially love talking about equine-assisted therapies of South Florida, of course. So it's really a pleasure to get the chance to talk to you and talk to Candy and also your listeners, because, you know, I'm a true believer, as I know you are, Scott. You never know who's out in the audience. You never know who knows people that may be able to help, you know, provide different services or find horses. So I think it's really important what you're doing, you know, get that 70-30 perspective, giving people, you know, the opportunity to talk about passion projects or nonprofit organizations, whatever that might be, so that, you know, we can just get more awareness out there. I think that's really important.
If there was ever a no-brainer to bring this on here, I get you. Nothing against the other two people that preceded you at all. That has nothing to do with it. So I want to make sure that on a live, national, worldwide show, the other two presidents. But when I saw you at that chamber, okay, I need to get in contact with Mal. And here you are. You got the Motor City Mad Mouth, and you have Molly Murphy. Okay, the new Star Is Born, and me. I'm just here to try to develop great talent and nurture it along. So put that big smile out there. And Candy, is there a way that you can get her number out there so that they can buy tickets again? All
So
right. Well,
I see our website down there. That's awesome, Candy. Thank you so much. If you click on that website, just go to our events tab and then click on the 9th annual day at the races. Scroll to the bottom. You'll see a ticket link. You can nab your tickets tonight.
that sounds good. So, and Molly, I'm just curious. And now we'll wait a couple of weeks. I got to let Steve know that you're going to be here. So you're going to see Molly on our show with Steve on April the 15th, or if the power goes out, it'll be the 16th, either way. And then you get to see a real show that this young lady's going to say, hey, you know what? I dig it! And I think having you on the show. Candy, can you just put the book up? I'll just talk about it real quickly that I have here. And that's actually Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. All it pretty much does is summarize my 47 plus years in the business. And with all due respect, I've seen it all. I've interviewed a lot, talked about old school media versus new school media. This can actually be obtained on Barnes and Noble, and you can also get it on Amazon Kindle, and it's in audio form as well. If you're looking at a lot of our stuff down here, our shows can be heard on iHeartRadio and among others wherever you get your podcast audio wise, and of course on YouTube as well. So you'll find us. Just look us up. And Molly is definitely a permanent part of what we're doing. And I'm going to just break her into the media that I need to break this young lady in because she's more than a one-trick pony, pun intended, by the way. Okay.
There are a lot of horse puns out there, Scott. You can use them all.
I plan on it with you on my side, young lady. So if she's more than a one-trick pony, when I get done with her, she's going to say, holy Toledo, what did this guy drag me into? And then she's going to learn. I'm going to have to get her a hat. Really? Seriously? Really? Because then she'll be wearing that. Well, don't ever wear it on here because, I don't want you to cover up your hair, but you can wear it out there and promote the brand when we're out there getting the Tribune cap and see what we got to do because you're not only part of that, of what you're doing, Equine, but now you're a part of our network here, the South Florida Tribune Media Network. So any closing thoughts, Molly, before we call it a night?
No, just join us at the 9th annual day at the races on Sunday, April 12th, noon to 4. Tickets can be purchased by calling 954-974-2007 or visiting our website, www.equineatsf.org.
There you have it. Molly and I doing the Motor City Man Mouth show tonight. The Bearded Motor Mouth, whatever. We're also going to have the Sports Exchange tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be all over the map for that. But, of course, the other Motor City Man Mouth show will begin. It's now been rescheduled for 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you don't miss that one. Because Steve Ballesteri and I are going to be all over the map. And Molly, hopefully, I'll have a chance to take a look at it if you're not busy with her calls as well. So that does it for us tonight on the Motor City Man Mouth show. My name is Scott Morgan, the Motor City Man Mouth. And I have Molly Murphy out here. Okay, I probably could give a presentation over at the chamber if I wanted to, because I'm awfully bad at it. What are they going to listen to me for? but she's going to be my new spokesperson over at the chamber if I can't do it. But it don't matter. It is what it is. Her and I are connected at the chamber, and we're having some fun. And this nonprofit to me is an absolute no-brainer, people. Molly and I, we do this. We probably do 2-3 times a month, whatever. But I got to get her all over the place so that we can get her at 8 o'clock. And we'll do this early show a couple times. We'll figure it out. Stay, if you're subscribed, what the heck does it matter how often I do this thing anyway? Because you're going to get programming all over the map and all over the track. Oh, yeah. Again, I had to put that out there as well. So track, whatever. Horses, I don't care. It is what it is. That does it tonight. Sports Exchange at 9 o'clock. On behalf of Molly Murphy, my name is Scott Morgan, North Motor City Manbow. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you. Catch you the next time. Good night, everybody, from myself and good old Molly. She's
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.